Hello and welcome to another Tunisian crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet Tunisian seed stitch, which is a combination of Tunisian knit and Tunisian purl stitch over an odd number of stitches. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This stitch pattern is we start the stitch pattern in the usual way with chains, and we need an odd number of chains. So this demonstration, I'm going to chain 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we work the first row into the back bumps of your chain stitches, like so. Picking up stitches in this way creates a nice neat bottom edge of your project. Okay, if you find the pace for the foundation row a bit too quick for you, if you are a complete beginner to Tunisian crochet, I recommend that you find my video in the playlist on how to start your Tunisian crochet project, where I go over it very slowly, so you'll be able to follow along. Okay, so just to double check the number of stitches that we have: 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, and we will continue with the standard return pass, which is a chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2 to the end. So we yarn over, pull through 2 again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and so on. And now we start our 2-row stitch pattern that will be repeated. So rows 2 and 3 will be repeated for the length of your project. So we start with Tunisian knit stitch. Tunisian knit stitch is worked between the front and back vertical bar. You insert the hook from front to back between these two bars, yarn over and pull up a loop, like so. Then Tunisian purl stitch, we need to bring the yarn to the front around the hook. The hook will then go from right to left under the front vertical bar. We yarn over and pull through. Okay, let's do that again together slowly. Tunisian knit stitch is worked between the front and back vertical bars, from front to back. We yarn over and pull through. And Tunisian purl stitch is worked as we need to bring the yarn, the working yarn, to the front of the hook. You can hold it with your finger if you find that easier to do. And then we insert the hook from right to left under the front vertical bar. We let go of the yarn that we were holding with our index finger. We yarn over the hook and pull through. Okay, and we will repeat this for the rest of our stitches. So Tunisian knit and Tunisian purl, and we will finish with Tunisian knit. Now we are going to be working our edge stitch under both of these bars. So the easiest way to do this is to rotate your fabric towards you, and you will see there is right and left bars. So we will work under both of these. We insert the hook under both of these bars, yarn over and pull through, pull up a loop. Okay, now we are going to be working standard return pass of chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2 to the end. Okay, and now we are going to be doing the third row and the second row, which is the second row of our repeat. So what we do for this row, we will alternate the stitches as we did in the previous row, but in the other way around. So while the previous row we started with Tunisian knit, the first stitch that we are going to be working now is Tunisian purl stitch. and where we work Tunisian purl, there's going to be a Tunisian knit stitch. Okay, so there's a knit, and now purl, knit, purl, knit, and purl. We started with purl and we finished with purl because we have an odd number of stitches. The edge stitch is worked as in the previous row, so we rotate the fabric, insert the hook under the right and left bars, we yarn over and pull up a loop. So there you go, that's the row number 3 forward pass, and we, as previously, we worked the standard return pass of chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so now for the next row you would repeat the first row of our stitch pattern, which is that we started it with Tunisian knit. So again, you would be working Tunisian knit stitch, alternate with Tunisian purl, Tunisian knit, purl, knit, purl, and knit. Okay, it's very important that you always work the opposite stitch to the stitch that you worked in the row below, otherwise you will end up with ribbing, because combination of Tunisian purl and Tunisian knit stitches where you work the rows in a line fashion, so the stitches between the rows align will give you a ribbing, and that's not what you want to work, that's not what you want to get when you work a seed stitch. Okay, again, that's the end stitch and return pass. So I'm going to work with you the second row of our stitch repeat pattern. So previously we started with knit, so now we need to start with purl and work knit into purl and purl into knit. Okay, knit, purl, knit, and purl. Okay, and now the end stitch, like so. We chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for your standard return pass. Okay, and that's how you work the Tunisian seed stitch. So again, just to recap everything, Tunisian seed stitch is a combination of Tunisian knit and Tunisian purl stitch in alternate fashion. So this stitch pattern is worked over an odd number of stitches. We start with Tunisian knit, and then we work purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, and so on from the length of your project. So that's your first row of your stitch pattern repeat, and then in the second row you work the opposite stitches to the row below. So while in the first row we started with knit, the second row of your repeat will be begin with Tunisian purl, and then followed by knit, purl, and so on. And as you work your fabric in this manner, in this stitch combination, you will see the stitch pattern emerging. It's very nice, a slightly textured stitch that can be used for variety of projects. So you can let me know in the comments below what you would use this stitch for. And as always, please let me know what you think about the tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you find it useful, and share with your friends. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.